What's up guys, it's Tommy here and welcome to a super interesting and exciting Liverpool transfer news video, because it was revealed by journalists well connected with Liverpool Football Club that Liverpool will have a huge amount of money to spend on summer transfers, and Jurgen Klopp identified two key areas to spend his money on, which is a centre back and a forward player as well. And I think with Matip, Gomez and Van Dijk, all three of them coming back from long-term injuries, and yes, we have Kabak and Ben Davies, but basically we need, I think, one more centre-back, and we don't know yet how good Ben Davies is. It remains to be seen whether Nathaniel Phillips will be in the squad next summer, and of course with Bobby Firmino's really bad decline and bad run of form in front of goal, it's pretty obvious that Liverpool are going to sign a number 9, an out-and-out striker. Erling Haaland is the player that everybody wants to see. And yes, I hear you guys when you say will Liverpool spend that amount on a striker when they might not make Champions League football, but according to this report by the Athletic, Liverpool have money available for Jurgen Klopp to strengthen his squad this summer, and it was there to be spent on the right player if he had been available in the past 2 transfer windows. Jurgen Klopp is particularly hopeful he will be allowed to freshen up his front 3 positions, so we are going after another striker, and that is always very exciting. I love strikers, I love goal scorers at Liverpool, and I really hope that this Erling Haaland transfer could be a similar one to when we prized Virgil van Dijk away from Manchester City. Can you imagine how different the past 3 years would have been in English football if Virgil van Dijk signed Man City? For Man City, they would have been virtually unplayable, unchallengeable by anyone, and also Liverpool wouldn't have made it to 2 Champions League finals. They wouldn't have won the Premier League title, and also having another incredible season where they got 97 points. And this could be a similar transfer because Erling Haaland has connections to Man City. His father played for Man City, obviously. So if Liverpool could get Erling Haaland and snatch him away from Manchester City, that would be worth a lot of money. And we already spent 75 million pounds on Virgil van Dijk. We could spend another similar amount, or maybe even 100 million pounds on Erling Haaland, if it strengthened Liverpool so much, and Erling Haaland could solve Liverpool's striker position for the next 5 to 10 years. And even if we sell him in 5, 6, 7 years, we could easily get 100 million or 150 million back for Erling Haaland. So basically, it's almost like a free transfer if you depreciate also the 100 million throughout his 5, 6, 7 year career. So it's not as much money as you first think, and I think seriously that Liverpool could spend this amount because of very frugal and very shrewd business and transfer decisions in the past 2 years. Liverpool, I think, are in a good financial position once fans start returning into the stadium. Also, Jurgen Klopp gave an update on Bobby Firmino. He said Bobby was not with us training, but that means he couldn't play against Leipzig, and we will see whether he will be fit for Wolves. So now we have a few more days, and later on we have the medical meeting actually after the press conference, so sorry about that. So they will give me more information about Bobby Firmino. So we will see. We have 2 more full days. Hopefully, it looks like in the moment everybody else is fit, and that is great news. No more injury issues against Leipzig, so I'm really excited about that. So guys, if you are excited about this video and about Erling Haaland potentially signing for Liverpool, leave a like and subscribe if you are new around my channel. So the Athletic report has highlighted the 2 positions as being priorities: the centre back and the striker position, and maybe we might not find and we might not even need a replacement for Gini Wijnaldum if we keep all our midfielders. Curtis Jones could be the Gini Wijnaldum replacement, and we also signed Thiago, and of course we have still other midfielders, but maybe Oxlade-Chamberlain and Shaqiri. Those are the 2 players that maybe you could argue we could get rid of them and get more like players who are similar quality, but they are less injury prone, because the big problem with Naby Keita, with Oxlade-Chamberlain, with Xherdan Shaqiri is they are not available week in, week out. So Liverpool can't properly rotate in midfield when we get injuries to other players, and that's a problem. The likely eventuality of Gini Wijnaldum departing on a free transfer in the summer suggests that Liverpool might have 3 areas in the squad in need of reinforcement. Without Champions League football, some have speculated for Jurgen Klopp's transfer plans that they will need a reality check, but other reports have claimed that FSG will back Jurgen Klopp regardless of how Liverpool's domestic campaign pans out. And even though the long-term return from long-term injuries, Van Dijk, Joe Gomez and Matip will massively improve Liverpool and Liverpool's form in the Premier League next season. The rise of Curtis Jones, as I said, may convince Jurgen Klopp that a new midfielder isn't absolutely necessary, and we might spend our money elsewhere. And I mean, if we just have a £100 million transfer budget and we blow it all of it on Erling Haaland, I would be honestly fine with that, because Erling Haaland would absolutely transform this Liverpool team again to a new level. He is an absolute machine, an absolute animal. He looks like he's from another planet. It's like he's a cyborg. He was already getting that nickname. So I think Erling Haaland would be almost as transformative a signing as when Virgil van Dijk walked through the door, or when Alisson or Fabinho came in. It would really strengthen Liverpool for next season, and Liverpool could genuinely be challenging for the Premier League title again in no time, with Erling Haaland and with also Gomez and Van Dijk back in defense. I'm already very, very excited for next season. And also James Pearce revealed some very interesting details for the January transfer window. So Liverpool were made aware early in January that the Marseille defender Kalatakar would be available, but Liverpool doubted whether Kalatakar would be a proper value for money signing in the long term. Socrates, the former Arsenal defender, was also offered to Liverpool, but of course they respectfully declined that, and I'm very happy with that. I think Kabak and even Ben Davies are much better players. Samuel Umtiti and Shkodran Mustafi were also considered by Liverpool. Mustafi, I don't think is good enough. He's playing for Schalke now, and Schalke keep losing games by a big scoreline. They just lost 5-0 to Wolfsburg again, so Schalke is doomed for relegation, with Mustafi in the defense as well. And Umtiti is a very injury prone, and I don't think he really made it at Barcelona, and he's really on the decline. So Liverpool inquired about an established first choice Premier League defender, probably Ben White of Brighton, but when Brighton said 25 million or go away, then Liverpool really didn't pursue things further. And I think the whole recruitment team will make decisions on who to sign, because remember that Jurgen Klopp wasn't 100% convinced that Salah would be a great player for Liverpool, and he wanted to get Julian Brandt instead of that. And I think Jurgen Klopp with the recruitment team together, they can work great. Just to leave it to the manager alone is not really the perfect solution, I think, because the more people are involved with the scouting and also with the identifying of great players who are value for money, the better decisions you can make as a football club. There are a couple of things obviously against Liverpool being able to sign Haaland, is that if we don't finish in the Champions League places, and if we don't win the Champions League, both of them are very likely at the end of this season that they will happen, then Haaland, will he want to sign for Liverpool when they are in the Europa League, and also, or maybe even out of Europe altogether, and Haaland won't be able to continue his incredible Champions League record, and I think he wants to break all kinds of records. He's on course to already breaking records. He's the fastest player to 20 goals. In just 14 games he scored 20 goals in the Champions League, which is absolutely ridiculous. Another thing that is against the transfer, and I just want to bring you the pros and cons of this, is that his agent, Erling Haaland's agent, is Mino Raiola. I don't think Liverpool have any players represented by him. He has a habit of really rinsing clubs to absolutely the maximum amount, and I'm not sure if Liverpool will bother with discussing the transfer with Mino Raiola. I don't think we are that type of club, and you know, Pogba going to Man United for 100 million and Raiola getting like 15 to 20 million pounds just for that one transfer is a case in point. Maybe Liverpool will try another Jota type of player who will cost 30-40 million, but who could provide great value for money, because Jota already is, I think, much more valuable than what we paid for him. And I think Jota can easily score 15, 20, 25 goals almost every season where he plays regularly. He has been injured, so that's why he hasn't scored that amount, but you know, 9 goals in less than 20 games is a great record for Diogo Jota as a Liverpool player. And Jurgen Klopp said that Liverpool want consistency at centre-back, and there is no test now for Kabak and Phillips. I hope they will stay fit until the end of the season. I cannot sit here and guarantee that. They are still available and they look good. If they are ready to go again, then why should we change the centre-backs? Why should we change it? If we want consistency, then we should keep them, and it looks really good. So it looks like Phillips and Kabak could be the centre-back pairing going forward for Liverpool. Of course, until one of them get injured, and then we have to change it again. But yeah, this is for the first time in months Liverpool finally have a centre-back pairing that they can regularly play together. And Ben Davies, also Liverpool spoke out about him. He said hopefully those two can play all the games, but Ben Davies has to adapt, that is clear. Famous stories, Andy Robertson. It took him half a year in a normal year. Ben is a really good player, but he has to get used to all the stuff here. We have options. I don't tell Ben now. He just has to train. It will take as long as it takes. It was clear we would not start with 2 new centre-backs if we didn't have to. In the last line, they need to be used to each other. Ben will play when he plays, so Jurgen Klopp will probably give Ben Davies a little bit more time. I really hope we don't sell him in the summer, because then it would just be a pretty heartbreaking that we just signed him to make a profit and basically we never played him. And that would be devastating for Ben Davies' confidence, and also it would be a little bit of a scummy thing to do. But football is a ruthless business, so stranger things have happened in football. But I really hope that we see Ben Davies in a Liverpool shirt this season and he gets a chance to actually prove that he is good enough. The problem is that now Liverpool have like no easy games. We absolutely have to win every game in the Premier League, and we probably have to win every game in the Champions League as well, or at least like get a result in every game. So we can't allow passengers in the team, and Ben Davies is new to the Premier League, new to Liverpool. So I can understand why Jurgen Klopp didn't play him, but I think he should have played him when we had just Kabak and nobody else really to play at centre-back apart from Nathaniel Phillips and Reece Williams. At least Ben Davies could have had one game, maybe against Sheffield United. Maybe that was the game where we could have played Ben Davies, but we didn't, and he still is waiting for his first minutes as a Liverpool player. And also there are reports coming out that the Nike deal with Liverpool does not contain a penalty clause if Liverpool don't qualify for the Champions League. That has been said. It has been revealed that 2 consecutive seasons out of the Champions League will hold consequences for Jurgen Klopp and Liverpool in the form of a small percentage drop in the base income, in addition to the loss of key incentives. So basically Liverpool can go 1 season without Champions League football, but 2 seasons in a row, then we will suffer financially, not just because of no Champions League money, but also because of this Nike deal having basically penalties inserted into that. And that's fully sensible. Nike will want to sponsor a club regularly in the Champions League, so I'm fine with this really. And Jurgen Klopp said again how much Liverpool missed Diogo Jota. He said he was a big miss for us. I think the moment when he got injured, he was in a really good moment, which always then makes the fact that the player is injured even worse. What does he bring? His qualities. He can play up front in all 3 positions. He played all 3 positions for us already, and he can play them on a really high level, so he makes us stronger, which is really good. Now he's back. He had to play the first game immediately for 90 minutes, which was definitely not planned and just happened in the game because of other things we had to do. That was then the reason why he played only 70 minutes in the second game. He was fine. He felt after the game okay. The next day he was a bit knackered, but that's normal. Now he should be fine again. It is really important that we have him back for playing plenty of reasons. And also it's good that we have a little bit more rest until the Wolves game on Monday. But yes, to find their feet properly, I would say to the maximum extent for any striker, that takes time. But yes, you can throw in a striker or offensive player, because a lot of these things are natural skills that they have. If you want to involve them in all the patterns you have offensively, then it takes a little bit longer. But as long as you accept that will not be the case from the beginning, then you can just play an offensive player earlier. That's true. Then, for example, a center back. Defending is much more work intense. You have to invest more work to make a team's defending. If you want to attack properly, it needs a lot of work as well. But to attack only just to shoot the ball up front and run and follow it and score a goal, that can work from the beginning, obviously. It always helps if you have time. But yes, Diogo didn't need a lot of time. He had a little preseason, and then he came into a team which in that moment was in quite a good moment. That helped. He was lucky enough to have a perfect start pretty much. That helps as well. You cannot compare one situation to the other, but for a defender it usually takes slightly longer. So that's actually very good analysis by Jurgen Klopp why Diogo Jota hit the ground running. Remember that we won the first 7 home Premier League games in a row, so we were in a very good moment in the beginning of the season. We were actually top in December, I think. So Diogo Jota, until he got injured in December, he was actually playing in a very good Liverpool team. And Paul Merson made a very interesting argument that right now Steven Gerrard is better suited to managing a team like Southampton or Newcastle than Liverpool. And let's listen what he had to say. After a brilliant season at Rangers, I just can't see how clubs won't be coming after Steven Gerrard. I look at teams like Crystal Palace who are staying up, or Newcastle if they stay up, and others. Will they be knocking on the door for Steven Gerrard? It's a difficult job at clubs like that. Rangers usually win around 75% of their games. I know it is more than that this season, but at clubs in the lower half of the Premier League, you may be only winning 50% of your games. Then you've got to change your way. You are not putting a team out every week, sitting there and enjoying it. I had it for a little while at Walsall, doing a run of winning 6 on the trot. You literally just sat there after 3 games, I thought we won't lose. I used to just pick the team, sit there and enjoy it. That was just the way it was, and it has been like that for Gerrard at Rangers this season. But if he goes somewhere else, and he wants to test himself in the best league in the world, in the Premier League, even though Rangers are a great club, it's how he then copes with that. He will be managing a team potentially that's got to find a way to get to 40 points, and he's a winner. That's where it is going to be hard for him, because at smaller clubs there are games where they don't expect to win, and they don't win. If you are a winner like Steven Gerrard is, and you go to an environment where it's just get to 40 points, and that's a success, that's going to be hard for him. Will that rock Gerrard's boat? He won't want to be taking a team to Man City and sitting with 10 men behind the ball. That will hurt him. His next step will probably be that, and that will be a big challenge for him, unless you say in a year or two he gets the Liverpool job. So yeah, that's a valid argument actually. But I think that Gerrard will stay at Rangers until maybe the Liverpool job becomes available in like 3 or 4 years when Jurgen Klopp's contract expires. If not, then he will probably manage a mid-table Premier League side. I can't see Gerrard managing a team like Tottenham or Man City who will rival Liverpool for trophies. I just don't think he has the heart to do that, but that's just my opinion. Let me know yours in the comments below, and thanks for watching guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. I had a lot of fun making it. See you later. Goodbye.